Hi and welcome to my channel. I'm Kim and today we are going to talk about the vowel harmony. In this video we are going through 10 chapters, starting with figuring out what the vowel harmony actually is. Then chapter 2 will be about inflections, followed by chapter 3 till 5, where we are going to form sentences with words consisting of back vowels plus examples. We also have some front vowels examples as well as neutral vowels examples. Later on in chapter 6 we will also get to know some examples where we have back and front vowels combined with neutral vowels. Then in chapter 7 we learn what to do when we have combined words, followed by chapter 8 where we are going to talk about the question marker go and go plus examples. In chapter 9 then we are also going to discuss some exceptions, and at the very end of this video we will also practice what we've learned today, so stay with me till the end. So let's start. The vowel harmony determines which vowels are allowed in a word. In the Finnish language, we differ between back, front, and neutral vowels. Back vowels are a, o, and u. Front vowels are ä, ö, and y. And the neutral vowels are e and i. The rules here are pretty clear. A word can either consist only of back vowels or of back vowels plus neutral vowels. Here are two examples. Auto means car. This one only consists of back vowels, which are here a, u, and o. And then our second example is kirja, which means book. This one consists of a neutral vowel, which is I here, and a back vowel, which is A here. The same goes with front vowels. A word can either consist only of front vowels or of front vowels plus neutral vowels. Here are two examples. Pöytä, which means table. This one consists only of front vowels, which are here ö, y, and ä. And then our second example is seinä, which means wall, and this one consists of neutral vowels, which are here e and I, plus a front vowel, which is here ä. Then the third rule is that it's also possible that in a word we only have neutral vowels, which means neutral vowels can also stand alone. For example, Helsinki. This one does only consist of neutral vowels, so that means we don't have any back or front vowels here. And the second example is lehti, meaning newspaper or leaf, and this one also only has neutral vowels. Good. One more thing to remember is that a combination of back and front vowels in the same word is not possible. For example, when we want to say apple, in Finnish it's omena. It is not possible to say omena or something like that. It must be omena. Alright, now let's move on to chapter 2. The vowel harmony also tells us which vowel a case has to end with. Let's see what it means. You probably have already heard of the case called the inessive. The inessive case is used when we want to express that something is inside of something. This case has the ending sa or its parallel ending se. Now the question here is, should we add the ending sa or se to the stem? Well, this depends on the stem of the word. Let's take a look at one example. We have the word talo, meaning house. Talo does only contain back vowels, which are here a and o. So the inessive ending has to also have a back vowel. So that means we have to add the ending sa to it, and we have talo plus sa is talossa, which means in the house. The other example we have here is metsä, which means forest. This one contains a neutral vowel plus a front vowel. The neutral vowel here is the letter e, and the front vowel here is ä. So that means we have to add the ending se because it also contains a front vowel. So that means we have metsä plus se is metsässä, which means in the forest. So the rule here is if the stem contains a mix of front vowels and neutral vowels, then the ending also gets a front vowel, which is why we choose the ending se here. Alright, now let's go quickly through the other examples. The next one is the adhesive ending la or le. Let's see how it works with the word kato, which means roof. So when we have the word kato and we want to add the adhesive ending to it, then we get katolla, which means on the roof. The other example we have here is pöytä, which means table. When we add here the adhesive ending, then we get pöydällä, which means on the table. Note here the consonant gradation, by the way. Next one. Here we have the verb puhua, which means to speak. The stem of it is puhu, and when we want to form the second person singular present tense out of it, plus the question marker, then we get puhutko. Do you speak? Let's take a look at the other example. Syöra means to eat. The stem here is syö. Also here we want to form the second person singular present tense plus the question marker. That means we have syötko, meaning do you eat. Next one, essive marker na or ne. Here our word is aamu, and now we want to add the essive marker to it, which means we get aamuna. The other example here is kesä, which means summer. When we want to add the essive marker to it, then we have kesä plus ne, which is kesänä. Alright, now we want to conjugate. Here our verb is nukkua, which means to sleep. We want to form the third person plural present tense out of it, and we get he nukkuvat. He nukkuvat. Here we need the vat ending. The other example is herättää, which means to wake up. Here we also want to form the third person plural present tense, and we get he heräävät, which means they wake up. So here we need the vat ending. Next one is the verb sanoa, which means to say. Here we want to form the first person singular perfect tense, and we say olen sanonut. Olen sanonut. Here we need the not ending because we only have back vowels here. And the other example is mennä, which means to go. Also here we want to form the first person singular perfect tense, and we get olen mennyt. Here we need the nyt ending. Now let's start with chapter 3 till 6, where we are going to form some sentences. Let's start with examples of the back vowels. Minä asun Saksassa means I'm living in Germany. So Saksassa is the inessive case of the word Saksa, which means Germany. And here we need the sa ending because Saksa contains only back vowels. Olen kotoisin Norjasta means I'm from Norway. Norjasta is the elative case of Norja, which means Norway. Here we need the sta ending because Norja also consists of back vowels. Next one. Pullossa on maitoa means there is milk in the bottle. Pullossa is the inessive case of the word pullo, which means bottle. Here we need the sa ending. Next one. Kirjastossa on hissi means either the library has an elevator or there is an elevator in the library. Kirjastossa is the inessive case of kirjasto, which means library. Here we need the sa ending. And the last example, minä soitan kitaraa means I'm playing guitar. Kitaraa here is the partitive case of the instrument kitara, which consists of a mix of a neutral vowel plus two back vowels. So that's why we gotta have to add the partitive ending a here. Alright. Now let's have some examples of the front vowels. Kirjat ovat pöydällä means books are on the table. So pöydällä is the adjective case of the word pöytä, which means table. And since the word pöytä contains front vowels, we have to add the ending lä to it. Next one. Syksyllä sataa vettä means it's raining in autumn. Syksyllä is the adjective case of syksy, which means autumn. Next one. Aki kirjoittaa kynällä means Aki's writing with a pen. Kynällä means with a pen. It's the adjective case of kynä. Oletko jo syönyt means have you already eaten? So here we have the second person singular perfect tense of syödä, which means to eat. One more. Viime kesänä olin Japanissa means last summer I was in Japan. Here we look at the word kesänä, which is the essive form of the word kesä, which means summer. And since this one consists of a neutral vowel plus a front vowel, we have to use the essive ending with the front vowel here, which is ne, and that's why we say kesänä. Here the rule is, if the stem has front vowels mixed together with neutral vowels, then we have to choose the ending with the front vowel. Nice! Now we're moving on to chapter 5, neutral vowels. As already mentioned in the previous examples, neutral vowels can be combined with back and front vowels. Remember, if the stem is a mix of neutral vowels and front vowels, we have to add the ending with the front vowels, which is why we say kesela, kesela. And if the stem is a mix of neutral vowels and back vowels, we have to add the ending with the back vowels then, which is why we say bussissa, in the bus. And the second rule is that if the stem contains only neutral vowels, then the ending gets front vowels. For example, hissi, which means elevator, becomes hississa when we want to say in the elevator. Alright, now let's go through some examples. Aki lukee lehteä means Aki is reading the newspaper. So lehteä here is the partitive case of the noun lehti, which means either newspaper or leaf. And because the word lehti does only consist of neutral vowels, which are here a and e, we have to add the partitive ending ä to it. That is why we say Aki lukee lehteä. Next one. Aki juo teetä means Aki is drinking tea. So teetä here is the partitive case of the noun tee, which means tea in English. Next one. Lasse asuu pienessä kaupungissa means Lasse is living in a small city. So pienessä here is the inessive case of pieni, which means small. By the way, if you wonder why we say pienessä, it's because the stem of pieni is pienä. Alright, next one. Hannes asuu Sveitsissä means Hannes is living in Switzerland. So Sveitsissä is the inessive case of Sveitsi, which means Switzerland. So as you see here, all of the words on the left side do contain only neutral vowels. So that means when we want to add an ending to the stem, we have to choose the ones with the front vowel in it. Alright, now we are at chapter 6. Let's do some more examples with back and front vowels combined with neutral vowels. He lensivät lauantaina New Yorkiin means they flew on Saturday to New York. Lensivät here is the third person plural past tense of the verb lentää, which means to fly. This verb consists of a neutral vowel plus 2 front vowels. So that is why we have to add the ending vet here. Alright, next one. Matti on palannut Italiasta means Matti has returned from Italy. Italiasta here is the elative case of Italia, which means Italy. Italia consists of 2 neutral vowels and 2 back vowels, which is why we use not here as our ending. So what do we have to remember here? If the stem of a word contains back vowels, which are a, o, or u, then the ending also gets a back vowel. If there are no back vowels in the stem, then the ending gets a front vowel. Alright, we move on to chapter 7, combined words. Here the rule is simple. When we add an ending to a combined word, then the rules of the vowel harmony do apply to the last part of the combined word. Here are 2 examples. Kupit ovat ruokapöydällä means the cups are on the dinner table. Ruokapöydällä is the adjective of ruokapöytä, which means dinner table. Since ruokapöytä is a combined word of ruoka, which means food, and pöytä, which means table, we have to apply the rules to the last part of the combined word, which is here pöytä. So that is why we say kupit ovat ruokapöydällä. The cups are on the dinner table. Alright, next one. Kello on 3 iltapäivällä means it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So iltapäivällä is the adjective case of iltapäivä, which is a combined word of ilta, which means evening, and päivä means day. And as the rule says, when we have a combined word, we have to apply the rules of the vowel harmony to the last part of the combined word. Now we are at chapter 8, the question marker ko and ko. Let's start with our first example. Haluatko juoda jotakin? means do you want to drink something? Here our verb is haluta, which means to wish, and haluatko means do you wish. Since the verb haluta does only consist of back vowels, we have to add the question marker ko to it. Haluatko juoda jotakin? Do you want to drink something? Alright, next one. Puhutko sinä hyvin englantia? Means do you speak English well? Here our verb is puhua, which means to speak, also consisting only of back vowels. That's why we have to use the question marker ko here. Puhutko sinä hyvin englantia? Do you speak English well? Next one. Otatko kahvia? Means do you take coffee? The verb here is otta, which means to take. Here we only have back vowels, so we add ko to it. Otatko kahvia? Do you take coffee? Next one. Herätkö sinä yleensä aikaisin? Means do you usually wake up early? Here our verb is herätä, which means to wake up. This one is a mix of neutral vowels plus front vowels. That's why we have to use the question marker kö here. Herätkö sinä yleensä aikaisin? Do you usually wake up early? Next one. Next one is menemmekö vielä tuohon taloon? Means do we still go to that house? So the verb here we have is mennä. Here we have a neutral vowel plus a front vowel. So that means we have to use the question marker kö here. Menemmekö vielä tuohon taloon? Do we still go to that house? Next one. Pidätkö sinä kahvista? Means do you like coffee? Here our verb is pitää, which means to like. We have here a mix of neutral plus front vowel, and that is why we use the question marker kö here. Okay, now we move on to chapter 9, which is about exceptions, which are usually loan words consisting of back and front vowels within the same word. As you already know, this is something that actually breaks the vowel harmony, because it generally says back and front vowels cannot be mixed. However, in loanwords it can happen. Here are two examples. Parfumi means fragrance and hypothesi means hypothesis. Note that it is possible that when we inflect such words, the loanwords may take two different endings. So that means one with a back vowel and one with a front vowel. To sum it up, it means sometimes two options are allowed. Alright, let's move on to our last chapter for today, the exercises. Here we have 12 words. The task is to put them into different endings. For each answer we have 5 seconds. So let's go. The first one is Helsinki. We want to form the inessive case out of it. The inessive case marker is sa or sa. Which ending do we need? That's right, it's Helsingissa. Helsingissa. Very good. Next one, Villa. It's a name. Here we want to form the ablative case. Which ending do we need? That's right, it's Vileltä. Vileltä. Next one, Pori. Here we want to form the inessive case, which is... Yes, that's right, it's Porissa. Porissa. Next one, New York. Also here we need the inessive case, which is... Very good, it's New Yorkissa. Next one, Perjantai. Here we need the essive case. That's right, it's perjantaina. Next one is a verb, tiskata, which means doing the dishes. Here we want to form the third person plural. Do we need the vat ending or the vet ending? Yes, that's right, it's he tiskavat. We need the vat ending here. Next one, vastata, to answer. Also here we want to form the third person plural, which is... That's right, it's he vastaavat. Next one, tykätä, to like. Also here we form the third person plural. Excellent, it's he tykkäävät. Next one, lukea, to read, third person plural. Very good. He lukevat. Next one, muesli. Here we want to form the partitive case out of it. Yes, it's mueslia. Next one, ketsuppi. The partitive case is... Very nice. Yes, it's ketsuppia. Ketsuppia. And our last one is jääkaappi. Here we want to form the inessive case, which is... Excellent. It's jääkaapissa. Very good. Alright, that's it for today. I hope you liked this video. If you did so and want to learn more Finnish, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day and see you next time.